Okay, so bet you didn't expect this back so soon. So I want to talk about the boost formula as a whole, but as we discussed yesterday, Sonic Rush deserves the W for basically the whole thing because it pioneered the whole thing. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about Sonic Rush, but also the boost formula as a whole. Because my stance on the boost formula as a whole is that it's basically Sonic Rush, but reduced. The more and more it's kind of echoed and emulated, and I don't think that's a good thing. But I think that has everything to do with how Sonic as a brand was being treated, and nothing bad about the boost formula on its own, right? I'm still saying it's genius. However, I think it's because mostly there was a shift between narrative focus, where like new characters were, you know, accepted and being able to be introduced without people freaking out, over gameplay mechanics, right? So when Sonic Colors started coming in, or even Sonic Unleashed, right? So something happens to Sonic, or the Wisps infect Sonic and it changes Sonic's gameplay. Whereas in something like Sonic Rush, Sonic just gets the new boost ability, right? It's just like the homing attack in Sonic Adventure. Sonic just has it. It's not the main draw of the game. It's Sonic Adventure, right? It's about the new characters you're gonna play as, the new redesigns, the world you're exploring. Whereas in things like Unleashed and Colors, it's about, you know, the Werehog and it's about the Wisps. And the series kind of moved on to kind of these gameplay focused gimmicks. And that is because the boost formula is very, very accessible, right? Because it takes Sonic, who originally was really, really a unique game. And I don't want to offend people here, but it's not belittling it to say that it's accessible, okay? It's taking the concept of Sonic and his unique movement style from the classic games, which genuinely was hard for people to understand how to play. Like, there is a bar to entry, I believe is the term. And they're trying to literally allow more people to enjoy Sonic because his design is appealing to a lot of people. And so the boost formula makes Sonic more like a car racing game, right? Or you ever played like a car racing game that takes place like in a city? There's like an open hub version, but then there's a race challenge that is more restrictive. The boost levels are basically that, right? In those racing games. And normal people that aren't Sonic fans like me, and probably you, it's more, they have more of an appetite for that. They have more of a primer for that experience, and so it allows you to easily share Sonic with people. And again, we talked about that in the Sonic Battle video. That's super important. And I like SA1 over SA2, but in my SA1 versus SA2 video, I kind of was leaning more to SA2 because it's more accessible and easier to recommend to other people. So I don't want the boost formula to go. However, it has a problem, right? Because you can master it, but it's more of accessible time-based reflex challenge compared to an expressive style and improvisational based challenge, right? When I'm roaming through the Frontiers hub worlds, I'm trying to do I'm trying to pull off stunts, right? I'm trying to get like, maybe if I was like recording the replay, I'd be able to see like a really cool connection of different platforming sections, but it's not about really so much how fast I get from point A to point B, whereas the boost formula is putting kind of obstacles in your way, and if you memorize the tasks needed to get through, it's really impressive to see everything completed really quickly. Speed running, right? And again, that's more accessible to people. But what I'm saying is we need to put it together, and that's why Frontiers was exciting to me. Not necessarily because of the execution itself, which we can talk about that in another video. It's just new, so I want to wait. But the idea of having cyberspace or these kind of action challenge stages that can have that arcadey, awesome Sonic Rush, and like add tricks like Sonic Rush had, right? Where did all those tricks and that style go? Tricks on the rail, tricks in the air. I've wanted them to use the Sonic Riders trick system in a main series Sonic game, and that is perfect for the boost formula, and they just don't do that. They learned the wrong lessons from the boost formula. They took the accessibility piece that I've been talking about this whole video, and that's all they learned, but they didn't copy the style and the story from the Sonic Rush games. And that's why I wanted to talk about Sonic Rush, because it's the sauce of the boost formula. And if they're gonna copy anything, they gotta copy the things they forgot, because we got the accessibility piece, and it's time to upgrade. This will probably need a part 3. But only because I started talking about Frontiers. So they're flowing together. We'll see you soon.